K-Mega says, do it, go live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Gaming After Dark for this fantastic Tuesday, July 21st. Hope everybody is doing well. So it is the one and only Mr. Boom, Boom, Kaboom. Noof Nukem is in the room, and we are back. She missed last week, but she is back. She is ready to go. She's alive and well. Thank God. We got a little worried about Primal this week, but here she is, my co-host, Miss
Primal Eve. I'm glad to be back here, and I'll explain a little bit of what happened here shortly after you continue.
Good. I'm glad you will clear that up. Now, if you haven't heard the news already, guys, for the last few weeks, we were thinking about adding a third panel member just because I think it will give us a different dynamic. Plus, I also think it'd be great to have a little backup just in case, Primal can't stay the whole show or her internet shits the bed. So, the only thing that goes down on Primal is apparently her internet these days. Just kidding. It's all a good fun. So we are super happy and ultimately excited to add the amazing, the charismatic, the man. He's the man. He's one of the very few guys, that I really get a kick out of. And I knew as soon as he threw his hat in the ring and said I was interested, I was like, search no more. We got to have this guy as part of the panel. The one, the only, Titan Drago. Welcome, Titan.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's great being back on a panel full time, dude. I've missed it. Like, I've been gone for far too long, and when I would guest spot here and there and like still crave being on the panel, and with gaming being such a cool and like, mostly positive outlet, unlike what the rest of the world has to offer, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, to me, at that point, it's like, it's time to reach out to you and let you know, hey, I'm ready. I can do this with the regularity. Let's freaking do this. I get the mental image of like the scene from Rocky where Rocky Balboa, where he says, he's like, I got this beast within me, and he's like, and he's got to go out there and fight, like, I feel the same way with podcasting.
Well, I don't know. I was starting to get a weird mental image of a really bad three-way porno in here, but yeah, indeed. Let's give a shout out to the amazing chat who are just strolling in. I guess Dealer and them are rocking quite the show tonight, over 3,300. Big shout out to the great guys over at RDX Podcast. Look forward to getting back to a guest spot over there at some point soon. But let's give a shout out to the one, the only, the always supportive Spiderman 356. Draven Nero is in the house. We also got Joe Dunmore. What's happening, Joe? Back from the dead is here. Back as a great guy, comes into the community game nights. Timothy Dixon, another stalwart. You can count on Tim. We also got, who else is in the house right now? Doggy Dog 420 is in the house. He's ready to blow the joint up. We got Supersonic Station with the VR love coming down already, like a Monkey Punch Lugo. And we also got ACS Husk is in the house. Husk did a great job, by the way, when he was guesting on this podcast. Let me tell you, if it wasn't Titan, I don't know, Husk would have been a strong candidate for this one. So you got edged out, Husk. No offense, brother. You're amazing. But, Titan's the only guy who brings that. Titan, stop sleeping.
I was like, wait a second. I heard it. I heard it.
You're supposed to drop your tagline, brother.
I missed it. Internet fail.
Oh,
I guess you want me to say bring the comment back to sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were botting my internet's shaky right now.
All right, Titan's internet is shaky. Primals could go out anytime. It could be the new Nukem solo show.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking about your squatting. Not physical squatting. This was just me busting his balls earlier in the show about his video. Sorry,
yeah, my video, me and it looks like down in mom's basement. I'm in my own house, so guys. Okay, it's not mom's basement, it's mine though. So I'm proud of my basement.
All right, I'm 0 for 1. Strike one. Allow me another softball later on. Still at the plate.
We picked a hell of a third. Yes, indeed. I know this show is only going to get a lot better and a hell of a lot more fun over the next while as we look to keep improving. I also got some ideas for the podcast that I have to run by these fine folks here as we move forward. But Primal, well, I mean, first of all, we had a little bit of a scare this week. I mean, nothing serious, but I was going to say you kind of had all your fans on alarm. So what the hell happened? Maybe you can let us in the loop here.
It was like, okay, so last week I wasn't here because I was hanging out with a male possible friend. And it was just like, it was kind of an awakening. Like, I don't know. It was just like, man, I gotta do better. And
Okay, I'm sorry.
Gotta do better.
Right?
Was the sex that fucking good? Did he cause amnesia?
Oh my gosh, it wasn't even, like, I'm sure he won't hear this or anything, but it was just so weird because he kept on trying to do everything for me. Like, it was almost to the point where, like, hey, do you want me to cut your food for you type thing? And I'm just like, whoa. So
you want me to peel the cucumber before I stick it in?
Right. And me, I'm a complete free spirit. I do whatever the fuck I want. I don't like being told what to do. And I'm just like, man, this shit kind of sucks. So I kind of just needed to take a break from everything and just kind of chill out. I took a break from games, social media, people mostly. And, you know, I know it was completely on a whim. I didn't tell anybody, but I want to thank everybody who sent me the messages. I wasn't kidnapped and I'm not like cut into a bunch of, oh man, wouldn't that be fucked up if I was cut into pieces and put in your basement? But yeah, no, but I binge watch some shows with my kid and stuff, which I believe we'll talk about later if that's brought up or not. But no, I need a break, but I'm back because I love being able to make people laugh. That's my favorite thing to do. I love to have fun. I like posting shit on Twitter, you know, because there's so much negativity and everything, and just so much bullshit, toxic stuff going on sometimes in our community. And I like to post things to break that shit up, you know, laugh a little bit. Like laughter is the best medicine for everything. So.
It totally is. Well, we're glad to hear you're safe and sound. Like I said, you got me a little worried. Generally, the only time people send out the APB for Noof Nukem is if I haven't farted in a couple days, people get worried. Brian F., what's happening, brother? Titan Drago, the newest member of Gaming After Dark. So, Titan, for those who don't know you, I think most people in this chat are familiar with you, but for those who don't, maybe just kind of a quick introduction on here.
Yeah, been gaming since kid, whole life. It's a huge part of my life, you know, so much that, like, you know, I've it's spilled into my children's lives, and they love gaming. They're huge into it, and I play with my son all the time, this and that. Yeah, I'm a huge Xbox fan, and you know, I don't mind. You know, PlayStation fans, like I was telling you in the pregame, it's like I don't even mind. You know, like someone calls me like a corporate fanboy. Well, I am a fan. I'm a fan of Xbox. And you know, if you don't like it, then, you know, that's a you problem. But I do like to hear, you know, things from the other opinions from the other side of the fence too, right? As long as you don't get toxic about it. Like, I'm usually all for about hearing any kind of opinion anyone has. It's just, you know, sometimes people get ridiculous, you know, like there's always a fine line in everything, man. And I say that all the time, and it's because it's true. In everything, anything you do, whether you podcast, you know, there's inappropriate things I could say right freaking now that would get me kicked off forever, right? But, you know, I don't, you know, like, just everyone's just got to see the lines that are drawn everywhere, man. And that's why I say it's, you know, it's a common sense thing. And that's why I always bring the common back to sense.
Well, you know, cokeheads always see the lines, right?
Sometimes more than one.
Yeah.
More than one, too.
What's going on?
They got to do all kinds of lines nowadays, man, to deal with everything going on in 2020.
No doubt. They do indeed. We got some more people up in the house. We got the one, the only. I knew I heard an explosion go off. H. Obama is in the house. Axel 1324. Still got to get him on here to do his guest spot. Axel, I hope that you're down for it pretty soon, brother. I know you wanted to jump on this podcast after the big Xbox show because I know you want to weigh in on Halo. So perhaps next week, brother, we'll get you on here if you're open to it. So just let me know. Yeah, so that's about. So I guess we're soon getting into topics. But what games have you been playing, Primal? Obviously, you haven't played with a whole lot in the last couple of days. So, what was the latest thing you played, or have you had a chance to check out anything new?
Obviously, it's Apex. I can't afford to buy anything new. I'm barely making ends meet right now, but no, just Apex because I kind of ghosted on my buddies too, and they were all like, "What the fuck?" and they bombarded me with messages. So of course, I immediately went to Apex. Primal 3-way. What am I missing? Hang on.
Yeah, Primal likes to do things in 3. There you go, guys. You got a game that got 3 players. You're all. How about yourself, Titan Man? Have you had a chance to check out anything new? What's been, keeping you busy?
Oh, dude, I'm still on the Call of Duty, man. I'm up to 84 wins in Warzone right now. 84.
Hot shit. Wow.
Yeah, man. Been rolling on that, dude. And I've been making a lot of looking for group posts because I've been up till like 6 a.m. the past few days or whatever. And a lot of my friends, my buddies I usually play with, they're going to sleep. So I make a lot of LFGs. If any of you guys in the chat, everyone play Call of Duty, I knew if we played with one of your buddies last night. He said he was one of your buddies. Me and Shameless Games played with him last night. Got second place in the first game we played together, so that was pretty good.
Do you remember his name?
It'll come to me later on. I'll think of it.
No problem. Yeah, guys, if you need a great guy to roll Call of Duty, Titan's definitely the guy to do it. Titan's awesome. Shameless, another good guy at that game. And we played private match Call of Duty over a week ago there, and what a blast that was. I can't we got another community game night coming up this weekend, but we'll get to that at the end of the show. Let's move along and get into some topics, people. We don't know if Primal's going to make the whole show, but we're crossing our fingers. So, guys, if you got a finger to cross them. If you need to twist your balls up in a knot, do that as well. Just don't hurt yourself. So just
do not try at home.
Do not try at home. If you can twist your tits, you may need to get them inflated. Oh man. So Xbox, this has been kind of the one that's been going around making a lot of waves this past couple of days. Obviously, sort of I guess some super sleuths caught on that we noticed that the Xbox Live 12-month subscription has been dropped from the Xbox dashboard and from other areas. So basically leaving it only possible, to download the 3-month pass, I think, and it's like the 1 month and 3 month passes. So the 12-month is gone, which is really conspicuous, I guess you could say. So there is some people, some higher ups suggesting that there's a possibility that Xbox gets rid of the Xbox Live Gold period and then just basically bundles Game Pack into Game Pass Ultimate. So there's a lot of speculation, but something is definitely afloat at Microsoft. What the freak is it? I don't know, but let's give our take on what we think is happening with Xbox Live Gold, if it will be wrapped up into a Game Pass Ultimate kind of deal. And we'll start with the lady of the hour, Primal. Have you been? Obviously, like Sabina Way, I don't know how much you've been following this week,
right,
but have you heard anything about this, and what kind of, how do you weigh in on this situation? What do you think is happening, and how do you think it's going to affect you adversely?
It's not going to really affect me because I don't know. I'm going to have it regardless. I'm going to find a way to get whatever package deal they have because I do enjoy what they offer. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a buddy about this. The one thing is I'm thinking about money. What are they going to do with the pricing? That's going to be a big deal. Like they got to make it enticing enough, but they also know how many people they already have now that are going to end up keeping everything, that they're probably going to end up paying a little extra to do more. But I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
Well, let's just say if they drop the gold part, so you no longer need the paywall in order to play any of the games online or the free-to-play games. But then you're still paying for Game Pass Ultimate, which will give you obviously xCloud. Maybe it goes up a couple of bucks. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. And I honestly think that a majority of the multiplayer should have been free to begin with.
Right.
I just think that's something that should have always been included. Whether you have, because what was it? It used to have either silver or gold back in the day. And
well, you still do. Technically,
I haven't. Well, then I haven't seen silver in a while, but
yeah,
because everybody keeps racking up on all these like $1 a month deals and stuff.
Right.
So I think it's going to bring in more people. They're looking to find a way to bring in more people who will be more than happy to play multiplayer, but then they're going to be like, hey, check out this Game Pass.
Yeah, I think the big bonus is bringing the xCloud into the fold absolutely free of charge, not charging extra. That's a huge deal. Yeah, so but I'll weigh in a second. We're going to get Titan's opinion first. But before we get to Titan Drago, our newest panel member on Gaming After Dark, we got to head over to the Super Chat because Dirk Riggedy is in the house. He drops a $5 bills. What's up, y'all? Dirt, welcome to the show, brother. Glad you could be here. Got to get you back as a guest some week. We're going to have some great shows ahead with some of the guests, man. And now that Titan's in the fold, yeah, man, this shit got lit. It went from mild explosive to nuclear up in here. So it's good.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Failed Pyromancer is in the house. He says, woohoo, Primal. Yes, indeed. And we got Tip Top Dalton is here. Who else? UK Dazzers is here. Primal, you might want to read out his.
Yeah.
She's like, great.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's late in UK Dazzler's neck of the woods, but not only is his eyes open, he's probably got a beer to his lips, but yeah, he's up in many ways. You can speculate how you want.
Anyway, your best zing tonight, noob.
Zing! Vader Gaiman is in the house, and Vader is always invading something. What's up? Casket Repair is here. We got Youngest, so too. Youngest was also a guest in this panel a while back, did a great job. Welcome, Youngest. Who else? Yes, I think we're caught up in the chat. Titan, weigh in on this Xbox Live speculation. What do you think is dropping? Are you cool with it? Does it bother you at all?
Weird thing, I'm going to get booed off the panel right here, right now, because I'm actually like on the other side of this coin. Like I never understood the whole. Well, I understand it, I should say, but I kind of see the benefits of charging for gold, because, and a lot of it has to do, because I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm playing crossplay, and when you play crossplay, we got all these PC cheaters, and it ruins the experience. Like I'm playing, like, and there's skill-based matchmaking Call of Duty. Don't let anyone tell you anything different, because we played we joined my buddies, and he's like brand new, and boy, oh boy, the scrubs we were playing against. But that's besides the point. But I see the benefits of charging for it because of that point right there. Like, right, it takes money to keep this train moving and keep the cheaters out. So I was never really that adamantly opposed to it. And like, it's like, how many people did this actually affect, right? Like,
right.
I don't know anyone personally that this affected. But the thing is, I never thought that this would happen. Like, even as close as like last year, I'm like just now starting to see the possibility of Xbox Live, the charge getting thrown out the window, kind of. And I had a really good talk to my friend Punky about it in a group chat tonight, actually, and he's completely rejecting the whole idea. He's all about, they got to make money, and I'm like, well, if you're paying attention to the moves Microsoft is making, maybe you'll change your mind here, because removing 12 months of Xbox Live Gold, so that tells me that if this does happen, that it'll happen within 12 months, right?
Right.
So if they remove the Xbox Live 6-month subscription, then really look out, right? What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, see, here's my take on it, guys. I don't know what's happening. I just hope that Microsoft will do right by its customer. I mean, Microsoft has been one of the best companies for giving us options. So options are good. We all know that. But for this old fossil, as you guys already know, I like Game Pass. I'm not against Game Pass per se, but I really personally, I have no need for Game Pass, and I don't care for it. I'm holding out as long as I can. I'm excited about the xCloud feature per se, but what gives if they get rid of gold? If they somehow make this all stuff free to play, and then they basically just kind of sneak it in underneath, Xbox, Ultimate, what gives, what goes, what services do we lose? What sort of, are we going to start seeing more servers get dumped? I mean, obviously it takes a lot of money to make money, and it takes a lot of money and resources to keep servers backwards compat, updates, you name it, all of this stuff going. I mean, there's one reason, that's one of the reasons why I think Microsoft has always been at least a leader, amongst the three big ones of Sony and Nintendo, is because Microsoft's always pumped more money into their ecosystem of Xbox Live. They've been also doing it a lot longer. So, Microsoft was not necessarily first to the internet game and getting people into a service, but I mean, Microsoft was the ones who really took Xbox Live to another level. I mean, it was so good that Sony finally said, shit, we can't afford to keep doing this free online shit. We got to charge. Sony baited their fans with the free games underneath. PlayStation Plus, and Xbox did in turn copy them because they didn't want Sony to have a leg up either, right? So, but getting off the topic a little bit, I'm a little concerned about it. Personally, I want my 12 months gold. I don't pay with a credit card for my gold. I go down to the store, buy the little card, come home, scratch the code, pop it in, because I don't want none of that auto update bullshit. Stuff like that. I like to do it on my own terms. So I'm a little concerned about where Microsoft's going with this. Am I the customer that gets left out in the cold here right now? Like, when these cards no longer exist, how do I play online? Do I have to take the Game Pass? Is that my only option? Or will he come up with another plan? This is what I don't know yet. I don't think any of us really know. But that's what I'm speculating. That's what I'm wondering. Because if they're going to force Game Pass down my throat and say, Nukem, if you want to play Call of Duty online, you got to take Game Pass. And that means a monthly subscription. And I fucking hate monthly subs. I can't tell people that enough. I can't stand them. I don't want them. Those $10 bills and $15 bills, that shit starts adding up too at the end of the year. And you got to remember, it's not just Xbox Live you're paying for. You got to play for PlayStation Plus. You're paying for Nintendo Online. You're paying for whatever else. I know lots of guys that got the EA access. They got, they got everything. They got the Disney Channel, the WWE Network. They got all of these subscriptions. I don't need another subscription for my favorite pastime. Do you guys see where I'm going? Right? So if the online is free, great, but I still don't care for the game. I still paying for the Game Pass, and I don't want the Game Pass. So that's my point. T-Rock's in the house. Is Noof, what's up? Midway Monster is here.
You got a big problem with this, Noof. You're going to get...
What? I'm going to need KY jelly. Is that what you're trying to tell
your
me?
Feelings are good. I think your feelings are going to get hurt. I think your feelings are going to get hurt more and more as time goes on about this.
Around, like,
brother,
going not his direction.
It's not just my feelings going to get hurt. Already, I think my ass going to be so wide open that when I fart, it's going to come out like it's just going to come out like, you know what I mean?
You're going to have nothing but silent and deadly.
Yeah, my butt's going to be dribbling for years. That's what's going to happen. Midway Monster drops $5 in the super chat. He's at the gym listening to the Gaming After Dark Great Edition. Is Titan more cream in Primal Eve's Oreo? Ooh. Well, let's hope Midway doesn't drop a weight on his head while he's fucking working out over there.
Noof, did you see the Brad Sams report about this? He had a good take about all these subs. And he said they're all basically getting slimmed down because you think about it, you look at all the subscription services Microsoft has, and he thinks they're just basically trimming the fat on it. What do you think about that? That's why I think that you're going to get hurt more in the long run, because I think they're going to be giving us less options here coming up.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm not sure what Juno's asking me. Juno23 is in the chat. Juno, how you doing, brother? Don't you say you hate month subs with a YouTube channel? Well, I don't have any subs. I mean, people subscribe, but they're not paying money. You know what I mean? There's a totally difference. I think that's where you're going with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know what Microsoft's going on, but I feel like they're the first guys. That's my favorite console, my favorite company, but I feel like they're the ones who are forcing us dinosaurs back into the cage. You know what I mean? Like, Sony's kind of at least easing the stick off a little bit. You know what I mean? They haven't sent in the hounds yet, but I feel like, I feel like Microsoft's got the prod and cattle out. They're like, yo, you got to get that Game Pass cage, son. Get with the times, you know?
Noof is getting wrangled up.
Sony is over there like, as long as we sell console, that's it. You know? Dragon Heart, Yobi, what's up, Dragon? Yeah. Anybody else have kind of weigh in? It's like we'll know more in the weeks ahead, and God only knows. Probably in August, I suspect. During the Xbox show in August, we'll probably get some more concrete info. There's a lot of speculation. I don't like to start rumors and get my pubic hairs tied in a knot before it's we even get to that point. But anyone else want to weigh in just before we get off this topic?
Yeah, there's two sides to every coin, right? And it's funny, every time Xbox does anything, man, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you did, but on Twitter, man, people are just like attacking Microsoft, saying that they're anti-consumer, this and that. Like anything, it's maddening that anything they do, it just like automatic attack, automatic assumptions, this and that. And it's like, we don't know what's going on, man. Can you guys like hold your mouths for maybe a week just to see what happens? You know,
Yeah.
Like who knows what's going to happen? This could potentially be really good for those people that this, Xbox Live Gold subscription actually does affect. This could be pro-consumer, but we don't know.
Yeah.
You have to wait till it unfolds. But yeah, I'm in the boat where I think the Game Pass is going to be going up to $15 a month here eventually, probably within the year.
Yeah. I totally. With great services come great subscription fees. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the quote of the night, guys. Look, shit's going to happen. We know that. I mean, Microsoft's just trying to get more people into the ecosystem, and xCloud is going to be huge, believe it or not. xCloud is going to bring a lot of people into the fold because anybody with a mobile device going to be able to take their crap on the go. So there definitely is a lot of potential. Microsoft knows it. So they're just trying to, like I said, they're trying to cut out, I think, some of the confusion with all of the different aspects that they have within that ecosystem. And I kind of understand where they're going. But like I said, I won't get too riled up. I know this past week I spent about half the week fighting off trolls because I said a couple of nasty words about some of this stuff. And man, people just came at me like crazy. But hey, I don't know why my opinion's always the wrong one. Just because I choose to do things differently doesn't make me wrong. Might make me stupid, but doesn't make me wrong. So, all right, let's go.
What if someone has a bad take on something? If you don't agree with it, man, it's like people just go to the extremes. Like, man, take a chill pill. And that's me saying this.
Crazy,
right?
But in all fairness, at least I had some of the PlayStation guys kind of come to my defense and like, yeah, well, at least you've got an opinion. And he ain't some corporate troll, and he can make up his own mind. He don't have all of the Phil Spencer dick licking committee fucking going on, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm the corporate troller. I'm the corporate. What?
Corporate slave, he called you, yeah. Titan, loosen the leash, man. That corporate slavery is not good.
I'm the one on this panel now.
What? What's going on in the chat here? Dazzy's still going on with something, but I lost track, but he's still going on with something. He's over you, Primal. That's all I know. I know what he's doing with his hands over there. Oh, man. He's going to give himself another stroke. He's saying, well, let's hope it doesn't happen to the other side, or he'll be like a Tyrannosaurus Rex and be going around with two little limp hands. Yeah. All righty. Let's see here. Let's get into some more topics. We got some more fun stuff. Well, let's talk about the big game that dropped the last couple of days. I'm seeing pictures of this one like crazy, simply because it has one of the best photo modes I've ever seen. And the game is, well, pretty damn gorgeous, I have to admit. That is Ghost of Tsushima. It is out in the wild. It's getting good reviews for the most part. I think it sits in the high 80s in the Metacritic, but that's irrelevant personally. As long as people like the game, I've had a chance to play it. Let's head over to my panel. I don't think Titan has, because I don't think you roll on PlayStation at all, right, Titan?
Corporate slave.
No, I just got one quick thing. I just got one quick thing to say, man. Like the people that hate Xbox, they owe it. They love to hate on the Sea of Thieves with the great water, and oh no, I think that game has like the Sea of Thieves water, only the grass version of it. Great grass. Gotta love that grass.
There you go, guys. Ghost of Tsushima. It has the great grass. There you go. You can cut it. Well, no, you can't. You don't have a lawnmower, but pretty cool. Primal. I mean, I shouldn't even ask this question because you already told me like you haven't had to cash the game. But is it even a game that you're interested in? Have you?
Yeah.
Has your interest even like gone up from what you saw, what you read, all that sort of stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Like I still have like my own, like I've always wanted the game. I've always been interested in it. If I had the funds right now, yeah, of course I'd be buying it and playing it right now. It's definitely my type of game. And just seeing all of these shots and clips and stuff, it's just absolutely, I love a good eyegasm. So it was definitely something high up on my priority of must get. I'll be totally hounding down all these giveaways here shortly.
Juno says you can't smoke the grass, so it ain't that great.
But no, I'm glad that it's getting feedback. But it's so hard sometimes when it's a game coming from Sony, because I feel like they'll give everything good feedback. But it doesn't really change my opinion of whether I want it or not. You guys can do whatever, jerk off, whatever. I don't care. When I play it, I'll have a better opinion on it. But yeah, no, I think it's awesome, and I love when a game comes out and it's good, no matter what platform it's on. So that's awesome.
We got Cerebral Paul in the chat. What's up, Cerebral Paul? Hope you're doing well, brother. And we got BZ McNasty is here. What's going on, BZ? Me, I do have the game. I played several hours in. I'm absolutely loving it. You know what? It reminds me of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I know.
Oh my god! Sorry, you just got me excited.
I tell you why I say that. Now, in many ways, I'm enjoying it a lot more than Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I'm going to tell you why I think it's like it and why I think it's better in many ways. It has a free flowing map, but unlike Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you do feel somewhat constricted to doing certain levels and going certain areas, this game doesn't have leveled up enemies. It doesn't have a lot of that stuff in the game. There's very little HUD in the game at all. As a matter of fact, for parrying any attacks, it's just like you see this little red flash, and you know that whatever attack is coming, you can't block it. You have to roll, strafe, whatever. It could use maybe a little more variety in the enemies, I guess, overall, but it's a very free-flowing game. I mean, the mechanics are absolutely amazing. They're very fluid. There's no lock-on mechanic, which is odd. Some people complain about it. I think the reason they did it is because you do get overwhelmed at times by a lot of enemies, and you have to constantly keep moving and switching your position. So you don't really kind of want to be locked on one, because the guys with the spears, man, they will literally poke you in the asshole if you don't watch what you're doing. So far in the game, I'm loving it. I think it's amazing. I think to me, it's more exciting than the Assassin's Creed game. It's not as complex or as hard to get into. I'm just liking the character better. The amazing boss that starts out in the game, which is going to be the final boss, but Jotun Khan, I think it is. He's like the nephew of Genghis Khan. I mean, the game has an amazing start. It is beautiful. It does have some graphic issues. I mean, I've seen some funky animations. The animations aren't perfect, especially some of the facial animations and some of the way you interact with characters. They're kind of weird. Also, like the horse's tail looks like a really bad fucking dollar store broom that fucking it's the worst. I know that's really nitpicky stuff, but we've seen so many horses in games that are very realistic, and this horse has got the weirdest looking horse tail I've ever seen in my life. It's just really weird. It looks like it came from a couple generations ago. Plus, another weird thing is you can actually play a flute in this game. You can swipe down or whatever it is on your D-pad, and your fucking dude takes out the flute, plays a little tune, which kind of made me wonder, was this game intentionally made for the PS5, or is there going to be a PS5 version of it? Because if you guys didn't notice, Jeff Keighley showed off the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller or whatever this week. It was quite the talk of the town, and you could blow into this fucking thing. So, PlayStation players are going to be expert blowjobbists by the time it's all done. Oh, no. What do you think of that, Primal? Did we lose her?
No, I'm kind of lost. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, they showed off the DualSense this week, and you can actually blow into this thing now and do stuff with it. It's fucking weird. Like I feel like I'm back in the '80s blowing on a Nintendo cartridge again.
Oh my god!
That's exactly what that reminds me of too. Every time I see it,
that's insane. I'm pretty good at blowing, so I'm sure I'll have a good time with that.
So all you motherfuckers have to wipe those things down, because I'm telling you, with this COVID shit on the go, I ain't going to nobody's house and touching anybody's blow controller until it's wiped down with Javex or something. So yeah, not so good. Don't go licking it now. Mind you, that'll be another. That'll be in the DualSense 6, I'm sure. Huh? God, yeah. What is the point of it? Nobody fucking knows. DSi technology, Juno says, yes, they're stealing I don't know when Sony got some of these little gimmicky things. Some of it's cool, some of it's just like fucking weird. Yeah. What do you think about Sony playing the skin flute there, Titan?
Yeah, they like the gimmicks. I can do without the gimmicks. We got enough gimmicks with Nintendo. I think we're all stocked up on crazy around here with Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. We're going to talk about that mini direct too in a minute. So don't go too far. So all I can say, Ghost of Tsushima, guys. If you like Assassin's Creed, I definitely think you're going to like Ghost of Tsushima. Again, it's a really cool game. It's very fluid combat. It is beautiful. Great photo mode. I'm really loving it. Does it beat The Last of Us 2 in my opinion? Probably not, just because The Last of Us 2 just got this crazy ass story. But as far as a good action game, and of course, setting being in feudal Japan with the samurai, it's so cool, man. It's definitely neat indeed. So, what's it? Cerebral Paul says, write down that Primal is good at blowing or something. So yeah, Primal will know how to use that controller really good.
Expert. I'll even post how-to videos.
We would like to see that, Primal. That would be a hot video. He's got the DualSense and she's just blowing on it like, yeah, it's an unboxing. All right. So since you guys really haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, we're going to leave it at that. Let's talk about since we're on the DualSense, I mean, obviously, what do you guys think of the controller anyway? Like, does it make a friggin' difference? Like, it's bigger, obviously. It's bigger. It's white and blue with the blue trim. It's got more features. It's got the haptic feedback. You know, it's kind of copying Nintendo, copying Xbox a little bit here. So, how do you feel about that controller? Does it even get you excited? Or, I mean, you know, with Titan, I don't know if that gets you excited at all, like I said.
What I want to know is, when did they start developing this? Like, how many years did it take them to develop this? Because boy, when COVID hit, they had to be like, oh my God, what did we just do? Is my internet cutting out?
No. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
It's like they gotta be.
Sorry, I'm like 12. I love everything.
They're
when your internet cuts out, you sound like this over in chat. It's like this.
Yeah, this internet's it's frustrating me tonight.
You're good.
What are they thinking though? Like I don't know what they're thinking with this. Like whoever requested a feature to blow into their controller, right? Like it's gonna get crap on it. Like especially like people that do you remember those memes and stuff where people had the Xbox controllers and they're eating the chicken and stuff and it's all greasy.
Yeah.
Well, mugs are eating. If your hands are greasy, you know that food's in your mouth too, right? And they're gonna be blowing on the controller.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Then you bring over like one of your friends with really bad breaths, like blowing all over the place.
Like, hey man, play with my controller. It's like all kinds of.
Hey, we just stop blowing on my PlayStation controller, man, because it smells like somebody took a shit in the spearmint bush. Come on, man.
Fuck! I really would have loved to be in that boardroom where whoever brought up that idea and they were like, "Brilliant!" You know?
Yeah, it's gonna go right up there with that fucking doll they're supposed to make that sits on the couch. That's gonna have a poke hole in it. That's what that'll have. Like the fucking puppet master. Hey, man!
If they have a bow, they need a sock. I'm just saying.
Well, that would be dangerous. Every guy out there would have a DualSense controller. Be like. Hey, your mom and dad come down the basement. That thing's always like 3 inches away from your crotch. Like,
oh my God!
Yeah, the fucking vacuum controller.
I know it. Yeah, and all they see is your head, and you suck it, and you're like, they're behind the couch. Like, hey, man.
Man.
I know, man. Sony's weird.
Well, I guess that game, that Astrobot game, comes with the PlayStation 5. That's what I read. That little game that they made, Astrobot's fucking adventure, and I guess that game itself uses a lot of those little gimmicky things. I know they use it quite cool. Like with the DualShock 4, when you play the VR game, there was a lot of things like you'd be throwing the ninja stars, and you'd actually take your finger and swipe in the directions, right, and hit stuff, which is kind of neat, right? So, but I don't know, the whole blowing thing. That's kind of weird. I don't know. So.
Blowing.
Yeah. Like how many like cool applications in games can they come up with for this? I don't know. I just see a lot more negatives than positives with this blowing in the controller thing.
I know, a pirate game. They'll have their own version of Sea of Thieves, and you have the blow to get the sails going. Faster you blow, the faster you go, right? You'd be down, everybody be hyperventilating and fucking using their asthma inhalers and oh man,
everyone's passing out, and then those air in a cans are gonna like sell like crazy.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
there'll be like blow up balloon simulators or blow up doll simulators. That'll definitely have that in Japan. Yes.
It'll be like the jankiest cheat of any system. If they do that, like the harder you blow into it, and then someone gets one of those air cans and starts, blowing into it. Oh God. I can just,
man.
Well,
my mind's going all
honestly,
kinds
guys,
of crazy with this.
in all sorts of joking fairness, the only fucking thing with PlayStation anybody needs to blow into is that fucking airplane pace of PS4 Pro. That needs its own ventilation. That thing, dang.
I just want to
Yeah,
see the
at least you don't
instruction
suck.
manual. I pictures. Oh my gosh.
Dreadpool's in the house. He came in at the right time. He must have heard something about sucking and then showed up. What's going on, Dread? Born distracted in the house. What's going on, man? His air compressor. All right. Well, let's move on. Guys, it's all in good fun. Like the DualShock, I think the DualShock controller, or the DualSense, looks pretty cool. I mean, outside of the gimmicky blowing stuff, it looks like a nice controller. I like the look of it anyway. It's a little bit bigger, so I think it's going to be aesthetically a little bit nicer in the hand. So, So sticking with the Sony things, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Spiderman Myles Morales. People have been asking about this game. I mean, lots of the Xbox guys jumping all over it, saying it's a DLC, blah, blah, blah. Some of the Sony fans obviously very defending it, but at least Insomniac cleared one thing up that people have been asking about. Will this game do 60 frames a second? Well, yes, it will have a performance mode that will do 4K, 60 as far as I can tell, or at least it's going to have the 60 frames a second. I don't know if it does the 4K at 60, but it will have the 60 frame performance mode. I mean, do either one of you guys give a shit? I'll start with you on this one first, Primal.
No.
That was it. No.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Like, okay. I really don't care as long as it's done well. If for me it's not a massive, huge deal.
Right.
And then until it comes to like multiplayer functions and stuff like that. The single player stuff, okay, that's cool.
But you prefer your games at 60 whenever possible. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't? If that up, but it's not a make or break for me necessarily.
I wonder if you blow into the controller, does Spider-Man go faster?
You gotta blow into it to shoot your web.
Ooh, I know.
That would be fucking funny. Like, oh man.
And then do really long ones when you're trying to do that long swing. Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'd be tempted to do is I'll get the DualSense right up next to my asshole and I'll pull my pants down and be like and see if it actually works. I just gross you guys out. That controller was white, black, and now it's brown.
Oh man.
Nature Bomber, I love Spider-Man wants a standalone game. What?
Oh, Whiskey wants to have my baby again. Thank you, Whiskey. No, what I'm saying, like, I'm on the other side of Primal over here. I think the performance mode is huge. I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't understand. This ticks me off because I don't understand people defending the filmic frame rates. Like think about it. In the 1920s, films were doing 24 to 30 frames per second, and we're still doing this in 2020 with our video games. Who can defend that? Right? Am I like? So like.
Well, PCs have proven that they can do 60 for how long? They've been doing 60 frames easy with hardware that is less capable than the Xbox One Series X and the PS5. Am I correct? Right?
Yeah.
So they've been doing 60 frames for a lot longer. So now we've finally got these two beasts of consoles. Say what you like. PlayStation 5, it's not quite up on the Xbox standard, but no matter how you look at it, PS5 is still a fantastic piece of hardware. It's more powerful than the Xbox One X, and that thing's no slouch. And if the Xbox One X is pumping out a lot of games at 4K 60, what's their excuse there, right? And there was even one developer on Twitter, I guess today, who's making a game on the Xbox, and apparently this game runs at like 4K 120 frames a second. And he said, something about none of the Xbox guys complained that it was a multiplat or something like that, but the PlayStation guys complained because they said that they could only get it to run at like 60 frames or something like that on a PlayStation, right? And he's like, don't blame us, you got to blame Sony, right? So
yeah,
right, because Xbox gave the extra hardware. That's the whole point. Yo, Whiskey Mike's in the house. What's going on? I came here to listen to Titan Drago and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum. Well, that sucks, man. I'd send you some, but I'm out of bubble gum too. Yeah. So, anybody else
Yeah.
thoughts on this? Like, you want to take it away? I mean, it's not a really big topic to talk about. Personally, I just think it's great that the game has that performance option to run at 60. I mean, Spider-Man, no matter if it's built on the last engine or not, Spider-Man is one of the nicest looking games this gen. It's very fluid, even on the base PS4. And I'm sure Miles Morales is going to be an absolutely amazing game on the PlayStation 5. And it'll probably have, the benefits of the extra hardware with the extra bells and whistles, like better reflections, maybe higher quality textures, et cetera, et cetera. And if they can get it to run at 60 frames, it's only a bonus for anyone who's going to buy the game. That's all I can say. And then that's as easy as that. But they got at least somebody's trying to push the envelope somewhere.
Right. And you know what? You do
well,
make a
60 frames.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say 60
you want
frames.
to go first?
60 frames is the future draw. Like, what else is drawing us to these new systems? It's not 30 FPS. It's not 4K. We've been able to do that for, I've been able to do that on my 1X here since 2017. So 60 frames is the natural progression here, or at least, some type. Just get off of 30. Do something. Do some type of. I don't know. I don't know what the technical word for this, but it's somewhere near 60, right? Maybe not locked 60, right? Mm-hmm. Games aren't locked 30 all the time, right? A couple of years ago, there was a lot of unlocked 30 frames per second games. So maybe just an unlocked 60. Maybe like I don't understand why these developers are so.
So
stuck on the 30 frames. Time or money to upgrade it?
Titan's internet is stuck on 20 frames right now.
When it comes to that Titan, it was actually similar to what I was too. I do completely agree with you, and it's almost like at this point, I know I said it would make it or break it, but at this point, we should start seeing 60 frames as the standard, because that is the direction that we're heading in. We should be seeing them push every game to this level. I totally get it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, all I say, if any of these consoles ain't pushing 60, they better look fucking really good. That's all I can say.
Right.
The games better offer something that you ain't gonna see nowhere else. Because honestly, that's like two guys building two strip clubs on the street next to each other. One guy says, "I got the fanciest new strip club that money can buy. Any type of stripper can come in and climb this pole. It's all good to go." Fans go to the next one, and the guy, he cheaps out and he uses a really shitty stripper pole, and he says, "Well, we got strippers here that look pretty good too, but they all like B cup titties, because anyone with bigger than B cup titties going to break this fucking pole when you turn upside down." That's pretty much what we're looking at here, right?
Jesus Christ, I'd give myself a concussion, like out.
Primal can turn up next side down and knock over your fucking beers when she's on the pole.
Whoop, whoop. Easy money talking about 1440p in the chat, and like, yeah, I don't have any like negatives about being like just under true 4K. Right? Like, right. I say you scale the resolution down to 1440p, that still looks phenomenal. I mean, it's not 1080p looks old to me, but the 1440p, I think that's an acceptable level, because I really am spoiled with my Xbox One X and the 4K. Like, I walk into my boy's room and he's on, an original or an Xbox Slim, and that 1080p, it's just they're different games, right? Yeah. It looks so completely different.
Yeah, especially when you get 4K with 4K textures. That's the other side of the coin too, right? Like, a lot of these games on PS4, like even Ghost of Tsushima right now, I'm playing on the base model, right? And I think the game runs at about 1080, but I mean, some of the textures just look a little bit muddy and off, you know what I mean? So I think what makes that game pop is it's got such a great color palette between, the lush greens and the bright pinks and yellows and sky colors. That's what really makes that game like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's a very visual game. The environments are as much as a star as the character himself. It's crazy. So I didn't buy a 4K TV to be playing my games and anything less. I want performance. That's why I bought the Xbox One X, and I won't be buying Series X if it ain't pushing envelope, because otherwise, what's the point, right? At the end of the day. So I don't know, man. Let's hope for the best here. Cross our fingers and hope that the developers get their handles on these machines. And like I said, We'll see very few 30 frames a second games upcoming. I mean, sometimes, like I said, it really depends. If you're playing a shooter, racing games, certain types of games, you really want that 60 frames. There's other games you can kind of make concessions with, and it's not really overly noticeable. Like, I mean, Ratchet and Clank, for example, on PS5 is supposed to run at 30 frames, apparently, but the game looks gorgeous. The other game on the PS4 ran at 30 frames a second, and it was flawless. It was a great game. It wasn't the be-all, end-all, but you just want to see a lot fewer. And somebody's mic's really cracking bad. Is that mine or somebody else?
Primal.
That might be me. My headset's fine.
Yeah, something's going on. I think you must have got yourself a copy of the DualSense early, and you're just blown away over there.
I'll give the developers this one. At least, like, they have an excuse of these are all like cross-gen games, right? And it's all the games are all the cross-gen. They're always like kind of iffy, because like they're not developed completely to take advantage of the next gen. You could tell they're I almost want to say half-assed, but I'm sure, like, to a developer, they're like, what? Like, I'm working my butt off on this thing, but like to a gamer, it just seems half-assed because we're not seeing the benefits of the new hardware. And I understand these developers got to be working their butts off to try and develop for two different, generations. And like, that's where maybe we as gamers have to be a little understanding, maybe question mark, right?
Yeah, I'll cut devs
that's
a
all
little
I
more
have
slack.
to say.
I'll cut them a little more slack for the first part of the gen, the first year or so. But after we start getting past year two, you got to push it. That by then the dev kits will be long out, and they can't use the fact that they started development on a weaker platform or weaker machine, that sort of stuff. We know there's lots of games going to push the envelope right out of the box, so we'll see what happens. I don't want to kill this topic to death. I'm not the biggest techie guy in the world. At the end of the day, we all know 60 frames is better. I think we're all asking for it and hoping to get it, and let's hope that that is the case 90% of the time. HR Bomber's in the chat. Jago Kukin is here. Jago's here, guys. He runs a fantastic fight night for guys that love Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and all that stuff. You want to check that out on Friday nights. I've been trying to get there. It just hasn't worked out yet, but I'm coming for you, Jago. I'm going to get my butt kicked, but I will be there one of these nights. Gaming Forte, our brother Gaming is in the house. What's happening, brother? Hope you're glad. Easy Money 4K is hanging out with us as well. Who didn't get a shout out here tonight, guys? James 176 is in the house. What's happening, James? Whiskey Mike, ACS Husk, Cerebral Paul, UK Daz is here dropping dirty jokes. Jazz has got more dirty jokes. We're gonna have to buy that dude a shovel for Christmas. I'm telling you. All right. That was a cheesy joke.
38 watching.
38.
40 watching, 32 likes. Not bad. I'll take it.
I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm so fucking cheesy. Sometimes I'm just so cheesy. I'm sorry. My jokes aren't very good.
All right. Next topic.
Primal's like, what's that smell?
Good one.
Good all right. Sorry, guys. Noob can't hit him out of the park every time. Sometimes I get up to the bat with a twig. All right. Let's keep the show rolling, shall we? We're gonna on a lighter side of things, guys. Obviously, the last couple of months have not been easy for anybody. I don't care where you are in the world. Our fucking lives have been turned upside down. Everything's different. Primal can tell you she's been working weird hours and she's tired and stressed.
Yeah.
Because quarantine put a lot more on her plate. So, I guess the biggest thing is that what do you miss most since, the COVID lockdown sort of same, and what kind of games or movies have really been keeping you busy? I mean, obviously for us gamers, we're lucky. At least we got a hobby that keeps us indoors anyway, for the most part. So, we're the fortunate ones. We're the ones who come out of all this kind of going, yeah, more time to game, right? But everybody else can So, what kind of, and this goes out to you guys in the chat. I mean, what sort of stuff do you guys miss? What can't you wait to do when all this shit gets back to normal? I'm going to hand this one off to Titan first. Titan, how about you, man? What part of your life been affected the most?
Well, I would have to say the biggest part is, especially for my wife, because we planned on going. We go to Disney like every year, so we couldn't do that this year. And doing that family vacation, that was probably the biggest thing. Other than that, it's like, I mean, I haven't eaten much fast food. I haven't eaten any really. I haven't gone out to any restaurants, stuff like this. So I guess I mean, I don't dance with stuff or go out to clubs. I don't care to go out to bars anymore. I'm not very much social anymore, you know? Like most of my friends have moved away. Whiskey Mike moved to Canada up there. Like what the heck, you know? And he can't even come back down to come get his freaking G fuel.
That's why he went to Canada, because he when the weed was free or the weed was legal up here. That's what it was, right?
That's all. Man, the free health care and this and that. Like we can go on. Like we can go on. As you know. We'll stay away from the politics of America, but
that's
all
right.
It's mostly
the women up here in Canada will suck you dry. So for everything you gain,
Primal got something to say about that too. Sure. No, but yeah, it's got to be the vacations.
Yeah, going places and different trips and stuff. Totally. Did the Nintendo park open yet? Not that, as far as I know. Born Distracted. Dad says he really misses fuck all because he's been stuck home anyway. Yeah, in the middle of this 2020 fucked up year, poor Dazzy went through a bit of a stroke and is trying to recover. So his life's been on the setback track, that's for sure. Dred's with you. He says Disney World, that sort of thing. So. Honestly, you know, that's my problem. Me and the wife probably ordered way too much takeout since we've been in this sort of lockdown kind of shit, because you can't go out and eat to the restaurants. Most of them are closed or at limited capacity. So, So Loon Smile in the chat. What's going on, Loon? Glad you could be here. Game Genie Prime is also in the house. What's happening? Matty P, your boy Matty P. Yeah, speaking of Matty P, he's here and he dropped a super chat earlier. I'm sorry about that, Matty. Tried to get to it, so let's get to it right now. Your boy Matty P says, "I made it." He goes, laugh out loud. Titan Bro, it's good to see you back in the podcasting game. Primal, it's always a pleasure. And Noof, F the digital games. Yes, indeed. He knows this guy.
Matty P.
Matty
Thanks,
P.
bud. I missed that. Good thing you read that. I missed that, man.
Yeah,
my internet's crawling right now, man. I'm barely here.
Yeah, like I said, you're kind of going in and out, and you're kind of like. No, it's not that bad. A couple times we lost you there. JD Gamer, I love my Canadian neighbors, especially the women. They're nice people. Well, you obviously haven't met enough of them up here, JD. Come stay with me for a while. I'll show you the real cornhole places. We got some doozies up here, as Cletus would say. Yeah, fiddle-diddly. Yeah, it's Cletus Dunmore here. I'm always hanging out here by the streams and listening to these fine young people. Speaking of fine, Primal Eve, she's pretty fine too. Still waiting for her to get on the camera and start flashing them titties. I loves me some titties. I'm like Noof. That's why we get along, me and Noof, because we loves the titties. That's what we live for. They're bouncing up and down, sagging around and around. It don't matter. We just love the titties. Anything's good with us. I don't care. Big, small, tall, long, flopping in the wind. It don't matter. I'm a farm guy, so I'm easy to please. Noof's easy to please, too. He's still living in the fucking basement down here. He got to get some gyp rock in them walls. Some bitch. Noof. You fucker, you gotta get some of that cash these guys dropping in the super chat. You gotta put up some fucking walls and that. You gotta get a curtain or something, man, because you're not, I don't know what the hell is Noof Newton doing, man. That guy, he weird motherfucker down here, but we still get along. He'll drink my moonshine and, maybe I get a peep at his old lady, but, that's how it goes, right? All right, Cletus, enough of you, man.
Did we just hear your last name? You better watch out. Someone's going to steal your identity, man.
Joe Dunmore, he says, I miss 3D movies in the theater. Yeah, well, just going to the theaters, period, right? Like, that's fucked up, too. So, yeah, crazy. Yeah, I got a funny feeling this show is going to get demonetized. now that I got that crap activated or whatever, yeah, finally. So that's kind of cool, but yeah. Yes, hey, Noof, is your payload 5 megatons or 10 megatons? That's Primal. I don't know. What am I packing here, Primal?
I'm not so sure.
She's leaving open to interpretation there, guys. I think she's leaning more on 5 megatons. Or less. Yeah. JD Gamer dropping $5 in the super chat, just dropping a bit of support. Good to see you all. Titan, Drago, Primal, and of course, Noof Nukem and Cletus. Yes, good to be here, man. Thanks for the super chat. You rock, JD Gamer. Yeah, so the Nintendo, now this is the one here. This is interesting, right? Nintendo brings out this Nintendo Direct Mini. We're all familiar. Nintendo brings out these Nintendo Directs, but they brought out this Mini to show it off like a handful of like third-party games. I got to say, most of them absolutely suck ass, at least in my opinion. Why does Nintendo get the free freaking pass? I mean, you know, you can say what you like about Sony or Microsoft, but nobody calls it Nintendo for anything. These guys get a free pass. They make the weakest, shittiest console. I mean, and at the end of the day, you got to say what the Switch is. The weakest, shittiest ass console. Got crappy controllers. You know, most people always complaining about the friggin' drift sticks. You know, a small screen. Don't even have friggin' Netflix on there yet. Like, what's up with that? Fucking what? Been out 3 years, sells 50 fucking million units and still don't have Netflix on it yet? Like, come on, Nintendo. You know, they got you know, they got more fucking indie games on their channel than most high school girls got herpes. You know, so what's up with Nintendo? And they get the free pass on everything. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? What do you guys? Did you guys see this direct? Did you guys see this direct? Weigh in on it at all?
No, I didn't even see it. I heard it was a really, really, really short show, though. Do you know
short
how long
and shitty.
it was? Like,
yeah,
I heard it was really short.
It was like 8 minutes. I can't even remember what they showed. It was so bad. Their big one was what was the big game at the end? It's a Japanese RPG. Oh,
it's bad when Noof lasts longer than your direct.
Matty P dropping 5 in the super chat. Haha, Primal. It's like challenge accepted. I don't know what challenge he's talking about, but he's gonna have to clear that up.
But you're right, man. I used to need Nintendo, right? Especially when we were growing up and stuff. You're talking about Nintendo, the NES, Super Nintendo, freaking Nintendo 64, right? You used to need Nintendo. You used to like crave its games. I have not craved a Nintendo game, and I don't know how long. What about you, Noof?
Nah, man, no. And I played that Animal Crossing a while back. I'm still scratching my head over it. Like, wow, what a turd burglar game that turned out to be. Oh my lord. I thought Death Stranding was enough to put me to sleep, but man, this was like on another level Death Stranding, I'm telling you. So if your idea of playing real world, you know, dig a hole, get a fruit, sell it to some dork in a shop, and then buy some cute little shirt, that's your idea of fun, go for it. You know, who am I to judge? But man, I tried it, bought it, and was like, that was a waste of money. Let's catch up with the chat, though. We got a lot of people kind of coming to Nintendo's aid because you guys are the type that don't call Nintendo out on anything because they're the guys who can't fail, that don't know how to make an M-rated game with their life dependent on it. Goes to Mario, Zelda, and fucking those games over and over and over again. Yet Microsoft gets shit on every time the word Halo is mentioned. Halo, Gears, and Porsche. Oh, there's too many. You know, but God forbid, Mario's got his 5,000 freaking game, and he's bouncing and jumping, and he looks the fucking same. You know, so. Yeah, Logic wins in the house. What's happening? Logic wins. Deadpool 910. He's like, how many devices do you need Netflix on? Well, apparently one more. I would like it on my Switch. The Switch is my portable game system of choice. So if I'm traveling, it would be nice to watch a movie or something on it instead of just playing freaking it. Whoa! Somebody got the hell was that?
Primal jumping on that motorcycle.
Oh, wait. That's a Primal. Did you just buy a PS4 or a PS4 Pro when you're off the last couple of days?
No. Yeah, it was just blowing in the controller.
Yeah, BZ said it was 5 games in 8 minutes. Yeah, that sounds like some kind of a gangbang record or something. I don't know. Jeez. Primal's always bouncing there, Linsma. What are you talking about? Look, I mean, I'm not a Nintendo hater. I own every friggin' Nintendo. I got the Switch. I expect more out of it. It's like the Switch started out really strong. People got on the bandwagon because, you know, Zelda was all the hotness and Mario Kart, obviously. But it's like the last little while, it just feels like I don't know. It's like I sit there, I turn it on, and I just can't get into the console. Like half the games, especially when you run them in portable mode, like they barely hit 720 and the frame rates are dropping, and you know, they're just I don't know, man. It's yeah.
Dreadpool in the chat said, Titan Drago, would you say Nintendo got no games? I wouldn't say that about anyone, man. I've heard it so much about Xbox, it kind of hurts. Like, I don't even want to hear it.
Nintendo has more games than Xbox, and so yeah, probably indie games, brother. If you're talking about look, I'm going to state a fact for you right now, Jack. If the Nintendo Switch is everybody's favorite secondary console, put your hand up in this chat. If the Nintendo Switch was the only console you could own right now, would you own it? Well, I mean, I suppose it was the only console, but at the end of the day, if you could only buy one console tomorrow, okay, you're walking into the store, you're told that you can buy one console. You get a PS4 Pro, Xbox One, or a Nintendo Switch. Which one do you buy? You can't own the rest of them. You can just pick one. Tell me how many guys would buy Nintendo. So Xbox or PlayStation, put a 1. If you're going to buy a Switch over the Xbox or PlayStation, put a 2. I want to see how many 2s I get. This will be interesting because nobody that I know bought the Switch as their primary console. I'm sorry, but you're Looney Tunes if you bought that as your primary. Unless you're just a big Nintendo fan. I mean, we all love Nintendo. We all grew up on it, but that's the thing. Nintendo doesn't grow up at all. Nintendo keeps bringing the same stuff over and over and over again. So I don't know. I'm just tired of them. They never get like knocks for anything. They're using a cartridge format. They've got no storage in their console, 32 gigs to be precise. Who puts 32 gigs in a console? Like I could go on and on, right? There's more drift in Nintendo's Joy-Cons than you'll find at a NASCAR track. I mean, come on. What's going on here? Right? UKDS is 69.
Like Xbox just did this generation so well. Maybe that's why they're just getting so much hate, because people are so jealous that they seem to be making all the correct moves. Like they're putting xCloud on cell phones. Like why? Okay, well, what's Nintendo gonna do with their Switch Pro or something? Like who's gonna buy that?
Yeah.
Only the hardcore. Like their market is drying up. Nintendo has got to make a move.
Nintendo's the only company that I know that's came out and tried to market selling cardboard boxes to people.
Yeah.
And
it's sad that that's not a joke. Like it's a joke in its own right, but
cardboard boxes. Like I never thought I'd see today. You go from video
Right.
games to making Labo. And it's I don't know how well it's selling, but it seems like it's selling well enough. Obviously, it's not expensive to produce. I'm pretty sure. Like, there's cardboard shortage, guys. We got to put the prices of things up. Like I don't know. I mean, I suppose they're trying to encourage creativity in kids and give parents a chance to. My biggest thought is, you're going to buy the Labo for the kid. He plays it 10 minutes and he wrecks it. Then what? You got to go back to the store. Or you got to send Nintendo a message and, hey, can you guys ship me another cardboard box?
They're like, it's cardboard. What did you expect?
Right?
Do you want the extended warranty?
I could totally see my cat, if I had a cat, I could totally see a cat coming in, cocking up its leg and pissing all over it, you know what I mean? So the Nintendo Labia, that would be funny.
That hot $99 for that cardboard insurance. Let's go.
Yeah.
People will do it because it's Nintendo. Yeah. And I don't know how many versions they had to sacrifice or what type of voodoo that they have done their entire business life, but people will still eat up shit. And if Nintendo comes up with something new, they could be right back on.
I'll give you that, Deadpool, but that's the point. You're kind of proving the point. Is Nintendo does their own thing, it still makes money hand over fist. That's my point. Mm-hmm. They do their own thing and get away with it. When Microsoft tries something new, or Sony for that matter, then they get shit on, laughed at, everything under the sun. It's just a constant. So maybe it's just people want to hate on Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo gets the pass because they're looked at as the toy company, I suppose, of the three things. And don't get me wrong, I like Nintendo. I like my Switch. It fills a niche, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I never owned one as a primary console. There's not a chance in hell. I don't get it. I don't know how Switches are like that's it. Switches are selling like crazy. If you ask me, PSVR should be selling like crazy, but it's not. So I don't know, man. Just everything's weird to me. I don't get it anymore. Salty Escaping is in the house. I knew I heard that little salt shake. Salty. All right. Watch out for the labia. Get paper cut, says Dreadpool. But anyway, guys, to each their own. I'm not trying to hate on things here. I'm just asking why Nintendo, I mean, this is like E3 time, and I don't know what they're doing with these minis, but I expect a bit more. Like, give me some reasons why I should not sell my Switch for the third fucking time.
It's so pathetic at this point. It really is. Maybe you're right. Maybe we do need to speak out more as the gaming community against Nintendo. Maybe they, because it's true. They need to step their game up across the board. I mean, how many digit numbers for a friend's code? The online is terrible. What's their chat? What's their online chat like?
You can't even send your friend a message through their dashboard yet. I mean, I know it's $20 a month, but what? You're paying $20 to play Mario Kart because playing Fortnite is free to play. A lot of the rest of the games are free to play. You don't even need the Nintendo Online. So what Nintendo got? Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and maybe what do you call it? Splatoon, right?
How cool would a massive multiplayer online game be of like Mario Kart racing? But they're so like to even do that, they got so much work to do, right? To even come up with something that cool. Like they're like, I don't know, 5 years away from that at least, and then it's probably come out broken, because they don't know how to do it. It's like they don't know how to do any of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird. They're so far behind everything, and yet they, like I said, well, Nintendo's luck will run out eventually because we're already seeing right now. If you look at developers, they're reluctant. A lot of developers outside of the indies are done putting stuff on Nintendo because Nintendo's hardware is so archaic.
Yeah,
they can't make these games run. They can only make them run so good. They can only make so many sacrifices to gameplay when your hardware is not, okay. This is not like the difference between PS5 and Xbox One X here. We're talking like Nintendo's hardware is the Switch is not even on par with the Xbox One or the PS4. Okay, so you're dealing with like a console that has like old tablet power. And they're trying to make these next wave games run on it. Second of all, I'm really pissed. It's supposedly a popular console. How come they haven't made a hockey game for it yet? What the frig? Come on, get with the times, EA. Make a hockey game for the damn thing, man. Jeez.
Developers are over here sweating, just working their tails off to try and get their games to run on that dang thing, man. Like, oh, maybe if I take this out and maybe cut down the UI and the controls and the graphics, obviously. We got to get rid of the graphics.
They got to put Sea of Thieves on the Switch. It's just going to be water and a boat in the ocean. Hey, there's no islands in this thing. There's one tentacle of the Kraken because it can't handle the rest.
It's going to look like Minecraft, man. The water will look like Minecraft water.
Yeah, it's just like, what the heck, man? Yeah, I'm losing followers. I was like, oh, he's crapping on Nintendo. Hey, man, what can I say? You lost me when Zelda's fucking damn sword started breaking. Yeah.
10,000 times in a game, yeah.
10,000 times, yeah. Breaks like a matchstick. It's like, come on, dude. Like, really? Come on. Dude can't even swim across a puddle in the water. He's like, I'm out of air. And I could buy that boy a treadmill. My God.
And he's breaking swords like it's his job.
Hey, Xbot 448 is in the chat. What's going on, Xbot? He's in the chat. Game Genie Prime. Salty's in the house. Salty says even that's kind of surprising. Salty's kind of given up on Nintendo a little bit, and that's shocked because I know Salt's got a good love on for the Switch and played a lot of the big games, but he's got a point. They just really haven't, like, outside of the launch, they've kind of been going downhill. Sales are going up, but everything else kind of going downhill. So I don't know. Anime Heaven says Breath of the Wild's game of the generation. I do like the game Anime. It's just, it would not be mine, but I do like the game. I think it's interesting, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. We got to get back at Primal in here. We're still going to get to her question of the week. We got a few more things here. Past the halfway mark into 2020, guys, what has been your favorite game so far, or maybe your top 5, if you can even think of what they are? Primal?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Was that a game?
We might have to.
It might be.
We might have
Maybe
to go like. We might have to go back and forth.
Let's just hope that
I'll come out and say it.
Yeah,
I'll come out.
Titan can go first.
Hey, let's just hope that Sony doesn't add a smell option to their controller, because oh shit, would be a nasty game.
Well, I'll give you one, and then we'll kind of bounce it back and forth because coming and I'll be the one to say it. It's one that people play, but it never wins games of the year. It never, it gets a lot of hate, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah. It got me off of Smite, which was just toxic as hell. So I'm going to go with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone, man.
Very interesting. But I'm not digging knocking choice. It was an amazing game. I even thought the campaign was great and the multiplayer is awesome. Best they've had in years for sure. We got the one, the only, the amazing Wilmy Hood has blessed us by being in the chat. What has happened to Mr. Wilmy? Make sure you guys check out their amazing podcast tomorrow night. It is Gaming Beyond the Box. Or is it outside? Yeah, Gaming Beyond the Box. I thought it was outside the box. I'm always thinking outside the box. But Gaming Beyond the Box tomorrow night with Wilmy, the Fork and crew with HR Bomber and company. It's always a good time, guys. Go check them out tomorrow night. That goes down at, I do believe it's 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain Time. So go check them out.
Yeah, Maddie's first show, too. Maddie's first podcast, man. He's always around. Good guy.
Awesome. Oh, nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's great. Yeah, we had a first timer here last week. We had Middle Age Game Guy. Man, he was amazing last week. So kudos to Middle Age. If he catches up on this chat, he did a great job last week. I couldn't tell it was his first show ever. I probably missed out, but he was really good. I mean, both guys I had here last week were good. Anime Heaven was here last week. I yeah, you weren't here. It was just me and the two boys. So it was a sausage fest.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about with the one before.
Oh no. Yeah. So yeah, the two boys did a great job last night. It was a good show. Middle Age did not sound nervous at all for first one. So yeah, games. Because Call of Duty. So you Primal, obviously, come on.
I would definitely say I was pleasantly surprised with the campaign from Call of Duty. It's definitely up there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really got into it. Story was good. Every moment was good. But definitely Final Fantasy VII Remake is up there for me. That game just like. I went in with a low bar because that's what I usually do with everybody in every game. But
burn to the X's.
It was the same game almost story-wise, but they did just enough to make it its own. Even just the combat system and just the little changes that they made, but still keeping what made Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy VII. Overall, I think it was very well done, and I'm very happy with it.
I gotta ask you, was it Kingdom Hearts? Did that come out this year or was that last year?
Kingdom Hearts came out, I think.
That was this year, right? January, right?
Yeah, it was in March, and I was really looking forward to it because it was going to be around my birthday. And I've been waiting like 15 whatever years for this game to come out, and it was okay. For me to be waiting this long and, having the story build up with like their 800 million, like, midway stories kind of making things confusing. But I wish I could say it was up there for some of the best games that I played this year, but unfortunately it's not. Oh, now I'm thinking of more games. All right, if you want to go again, someone else's turn.
Well, for me, it's easy so far. Probably going to get a couple of boos, I'm sure, on this one, but I have to admit, it's so far my game up to this point, and I'm having high hopes for Cyberpunk, baby. I'm hoping for that one. Cyberpunk, or it could be Halo Infinite. Those two right now are the most anticipated of the year, so it's hard to say. Right. But yeah, Spider-Man, was Kingdom Hearts this year? Was that early this year, or was that released in 2019? I can't remember. I think it was 2019.
Was it towards the end? For some reason, I thought it came out.
Yeah, it came out like early in the year, and because it was so long ago, I can't remember if it came out early this year or if it came out early last year. I can't remember, but
yeah, it was 2019.
2019, yeah, it's okay.
Holy shit, it's already.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, where does the time go?
Sorry, but still, my feelings haven't changed on that game.
So, my game of the year so far up to this point, it is The Last of Us 2, just because they took so many risks. I love the game. I love the story, the characters. Like I said, I thought it was amazing. Right now I'd say Ghost of Tsushima is closely behind that for me. But yeah, so far I'd say The Last of Us 2, unless otherwise something comes out and knocks it off that pillar. So yeah,
I'm not gonna boo you on that one, man. I've seen a lot of people like that.
It's polar. Some people hate it, some people love it.
Yeah, well, but when you take everything in, right? Everyone's opinions, and I don't like that's the thing. Like, some people like to look at like one person's opinion because they, have a lot in common with them. I like to take in the masses opinion, right? Like, all right, I see a lot more people loving that game than hating it, and and that's the way I kind of judge things for myself. But yeah, I'll never hate on that, man. Like,
right.
The game sounds awesome.
He likes to talk about the masses. They line them up in rows, and you can stare at their asses, because everybody knows that when you play games that it comes out slow like molasses. Yeah. Never mind.
Break it down. Break it down.
Primal was silent on that one. She's like, "The hell was that?"
No, I'm sorry. I'm starting to get tired.
She's head bobbing.
She's getting tired. She's zoning out. That wasn't.
We gotta get you some G fuel. Gotta get you some G fuel, man.
I live off of fucking caffeine. Anything. That's what I do. And
I don't really have a top 5, so yeah. So we'll just go with that. So let's get into Primal's question of the night. We got another one more topic from Titan here. We're going to drop here. This because obviously the Xbox show is this week, guys. Thursday, everybody knows. Some people speculating that there could be a deal done between Microsoft and Warner Brothers. Now, here's my speculation, okay, and then we're going to chime in on this. But you know why I think we haven't heard anything official? Because I'm thinking just think about this. If another company had bought them already, right? Do you not think it would have been announced already? It would have been public knowledge. So if Microsoft were to buy them, what do they have to gain right now by announcing it early? Would you not rather keep it as a big announcement for one of your game shows? Ding, light bulb. You know what I mean? So that's why I think there could be some smoke where there's fire, or the fire where there's smoke. And what makes sense for them to acquire major studios, even without the IPs, getting a studio like Rocksteady. Yes. Like there's 2 or 3 studios in there alone that would give Game Pass and Microsoft instant legitimacy with their studios. We're not even worry about the IP. If they get the IPs down the road, great. But even if not, you still end up with some of the best like third-party developers in the industry, period. And you also get, obviously, Warner Brothers access to Warner Brother properties regardless. They would have the inside track, right? You would think, because they are buying them out, that they would have, that sort of, if you wanted to say license a Warner Brothers property, would you not think Xbox would have the leg up to say Harry Potter or anything that is Warner Brothers related? I would think so, So that's the way I look at it. I think if there was going to be an announcement, it would be dropped at one of these shows. They wouldn't do it early because, hey, that would be a thing, right? On a show, Microsoft comes out, closes the show at, oh, guys, and one more thing. You remember that rumor you heard about of the Warner Brothers purchasing? Well, it's true. We just bought them up. Ba-doom, boom, boom.
Mic drop. Yeah.
Right there, baby. Right there. I don't care who does it, whether it's Sony, Google, Microsoft, it's still a mic drop moment. That's a big acquisition, period. I don't think anybody can disagree with that, right? G-Man's 1172 is in the house. What's going on? Slinky M is here. BZ McNasty. Banny P dropping another $5 coin. What are all of you most looking forward to on Thursday? Hopeful for any specific games? Great. Well, we'll answer that one in a second. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think this could be a possibility? Primal?
It's a very good observation, and I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. It could be. I really think that this is an extreme power move for Microsoft to do this. It's a smart move. It's a money move, and I remember when we were talking about this before that this is kind of them reeling in people, and hopefully it's a good sign to get more people on board so that when they do finally start releasing things eventually. Maybe I need some new IP shoved in there a little bit, but no, I think I think it could be. I think it is them just trying to kind of be like, hey guys, let's get on board because we're gonna have more for you soon, type thing. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Microsoft's being smart about it.
Well, they did say they weren't done with studio acquisitions, and if you think of it, $4 billion sounds like a lot of money, but to Microsoft, kind of a drop in the bucket. They didn't think twice about dropping $2 billion on Minecraft, and that's one game.
Right. But and they'll forever make money off of that for sure. Jeez.
Absolutely. Titan, where does this one land on the boner meter, man?
Big time. I hope I don't I lost you for like a good, 20 seconds, so I hope I don't repeat too much of what you said, but this WB game sale for me, it's like seems like a precursor, right? Because we got to speculate that this WB 75%, what is it, 75% off deal right now? It's on Xbox Live. So like if you paid attention, like Xbox does this kind of thing a lot. Many games often will go on sale just before entering Game Pass. Have you guys noticed that before? Like I've seen that probably 5 times now.
Oh yeah.
So I think that this is like kind of WB's like last attempt to kind of make any more money for themselves before selling themselves to Microsoft. Like this deal might be going a little bit faster than we anticipated, in my opinion. But I'll tell you that this sale is like just the sale alone to me is like just as definitive, if not even more definitive than like an insider leak, Like so many insider leaks are wrong anyways. Like I take the facts and like what's going on, and I base upon the past, things I've seen in the past, and it's all lining up right now. So I look at this as more of an more of an insider leak. But I don't even care about the IPs either. That's more of like an icing on the cake kind of thing for me.
Yes.
Like the studio talent alone, right? Like who cares what games they make? I don't care. They'll be bringing more games being dropped in the Game Pass by legitimate developers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I care
Totally.
about.
Yeah, I mean the first two right off the bat, you got Rocksteady, and then you got what's the one the developer that does the Shadow of Mordor games, right? Monolith Studios, right? And then you also got Warner Brothers Montreal. So they've got some serious talent, and that's only a couple of them. There's a few more studios within that bubble, but yeah, like I said, having the inside track on Warner properties could be a major deal. Could be a part of it too, right? So you don't know. I think it would definitely be huge, and I don't think, like I said, if it's happening, I don't think we're going to see it announced this week. I think that would be something they would probably announce later on when the games, like Microsoft has clearly stated to us. They want the games to shine on Thursday. They want it to be all about the games, what's coming down the pipe, and that's amazing. I'm looking forward. I think they said it's going to be over an hour long, so it should be an awesome show. A lot of first-party stuff this time, so that's going to be great. So let's get back to Matty B's question. We can chime in. Primal, like he said, what are you most looking forward to on Thursday? Or is there anything that stands out to you that, like, you can't wait? Like, are your titties hard when you think about something this Thursday?
I want this to get dedicated to just the games. I want to see more footage. I want to see new IPs. I want to see what it is that we have in store for us. I'm tired of specs. I'm tired of all this extra hardware shit that I personally don't care about. I'm sure a lot of you do, but I'm just here for the games. Show me anything, like even just like a nip slip of something would be great, because that's what I've been waiting for a while now. There really isn't anything. Well, obviously Fable would be something that would get me more than moist. I'd probably have a girl boner, but like no, it's really just as the show as a whole. I want to see some gameplay. I don't want to see cutscene shit. I want to see actual, like, what am I going to be doing within the next year or so? Like, show me.
Girl boner, eh? You just gave me a weird visualization of Roger Predactor in the movie Ace Ventura.
UK Daz, man, did you hear that in the chat? You hear that, Daz? Primal's easily satisfied. She'll be easily satisfied.
Yeah, so get your PS5 DualSense and start blowing, man. Middle-aged game guy is in the chat. Speaking of the man, he is in the house. What's going on, Middle Age? Glad you could be here. Innate is in the chat. What's happening, brother? Shinsaya is in the chat. Crazy Greek dude is here. G-Man drops in to the house. What's going on, brother? Game Genie Prime, Slinky M, BZ McNasty, Darko's Dreamers is here. Your boy Matty P, Wilmy Hood hanging out. Saltiest Gamer, HR Bomber, Supersonic Station. Man, the list goes on. It is the who's who of the chat in this room. I love it, guys. You guys are fucking fantastic, man. I don't know how many times I got to say that, but honestly, without you guys showing up, we have 40 people. It's no 3,000, but you know what? You guys are fantastic, and we appreciate each and every one of you. You make this shit rock. Girl boner, it is. That's party words of the night. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. You know what? Honestly, if they don't buy it, honestly, it would make sense for Google to buy them. Why? Because I think Stadia really needs a plethora of big studios if they're planning to make that thing work at all, or they might as well just pull the plug and kill it early. So, that's the thing with Stadia. If they're going to commit, they got to go all in, or they might as well just fold it up and pack up shop. So if Microsoft doesn't buy, to me personally, that they would be the ones that would make more sense. Does Sony have extra capital to buy them? Perhaps, but they're not as quite in the same position as Microsoft. It would be huge either way, though. Sony buys them, it's huge. Microsoft gets them, it's huge. Either which way, it would be a huge acquisition. And
no, man, there's four major contenders, and one of them is not Sony. Like, there's four, like, Google. Like, they don't have Google. Sony doesn't have Google money. They don't have Microsoft money. It's not going to Sony.
Probably not, but it would be big regardless.
Nuke, did you answer Maddie's question? What game for the show?
I didn't. Obviously, well, you did you?
No.
Okay, so go ahead.
For me,
Primal
Fable.
said she wants to see new IPs, and she said Fable. So for you,
Mine's
it's Fable
Fable.
as well.
Yeah, Fable.
Okay, so then I heard a little. Bloop. All right, Fable it is. So we got two that are like can't wait to see some new Fable. I'm loving the Fable 2, and I think we're going to see it on Thursday. I really, really do. But for me, it's got to be all about the man that made Xbox a thing, baby. It's all about the Master Chief. I can't wait to see what this new Slipstream engine actually looks and runs like on the power of the Series X. It's going to be interesting to see how the other versions will hold up on the older hardware. But either which way, baby, it's all about bringing back Chief in a big way. I'm hearing some positive rumblings around people close to Microsoft or the internet. It sounds like they could be back on track with this one. They've hired a lot of talent over the last 5 years. They, a lot of good people associated. People came back, some people left, but either which way, they know what's at stake here. They know that Master Chief literally can't come out and pull us DualSense and blow it. That was a good one. So yeah. So Halo Infinite for me, baby. That's the game I'm dying to see. If that game lives up to the hype or lives up to my hype at least, I'll already be happy with the show. But yeah, I would like to see Fable. It would be nice to see new IPs. Really dying to see what the Initiative got up their sleeve. Whether we'll see that from them or not, I don't know. But we also got there's Compulsion Games. You got In Exile. There's a lot of studios that Microsoft has acquired. Obviously, Ninja Theory and Hellblade that could be there. It might not be there. I would like to see more from it. We haven't seen a lot, but boy, if there was one game so far on the Xbox Series X that screams next gen, it is Senua. Rah! Yeah, she looked awesome, man. That shit was awesome. And apparently, according to the people, I think it's Epic Games, they claim that is, and Ninja Theory claimed it is running on the Unreal Engine 5 in real time. So that's a good sign. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about right there. Obsidian RPG, exactly, man. So much stuff. Matty P also wants the Halo. He's really excited about it. So yeah, Fable's got people going too. Yeah, I think it's really gonna be a good show. I don't think Microsoft is gonna blow this one. I think they're gonna come out and really give a solid effort. I mean, where it lands on people's Richter scales at the end of the day, it depends on what you expect from it. I am going in with high expectations. I will expect nothing less. It's been too long since Microsoft really knocked the toupee off somebody's head. So it is time. It is time. It is time to it's time to burn it down, Microsoft. It's time to light this shit up and get people excited again. It's been a very, very long time.
Couple days, dude. Can you feel it in the chat?
And I will be on Mr. Boomstick's show. I think it's the Xbox Factor podcast. I'm thinking on Thursday I will be with him and a few other amazing guys as we break down what we saw. So I'm excited about that. Took the day off work just so I could lose my voice talking about it. It's going to be awesome. Just don't talk too much, like BZ says. Absolutely. We want to see the games and not a whole lot of jitter jargon. Let's get to it. No boring guy coming at, well, this is why the trees blow sideways. Nobody wants that fucking shit. Nobody needs a Mark Cerny dude up there trying to explain his game. We just want to see cool shit that goes, ooh, look at that. Whoa. That's what we want, right?
We use the Unreal 5 engine to move the leaves like this, and you can see the screen-based reflections, right?
Exactly.
It's all about the reflections.
Microsoft is going to come out there on the show and they got to bust through the wall just like I did when I was the Terminator. They got to come out there and they've got to pump up the muscles and to show the guys exactly why you want to go out there and you want to buy this Xbox Series X because it's going to be awesome. Let's do it, Microsoft. Let's see what you got. American made, buy American. Let's do it. It's going to be awesome. Count your lucky stars. Get there and watch the show on Thursday. It's going to be awesome. It's a guarantee by Honey.
Love it, man. We got Cletus and Arnold tonight. Love it.
Cletus Arnold. Yeah, Arnold really makes an appearance on this show, but yeah, this is good stuff. All right. Let's get to Primal's question of the night, and I'll let everybody get the hell out of here. Primal is still in the game. Primal, what's happening? Drop that question on us if you got one.
Okay. I'm like, So lately, because of like this COVID situation, I've been experimenting more with my cooking and stuff, and I've been making some pretty good food. lately I made some Scotch eggs. I don't know if anybody knows what they are, but they're absolutely delicious for breakfast. It's egg wrapped in sausage, and it's you can either bake it or fry it, but it's just these big balls of yumminess. But so my the question I have,
I like to wrap your eggs in sausage.
the question I have for you guys is, what is the best thing that you've ever put in your mouth? What was like the one food that just made you go like, oh, like you wanted more?
Titan, you can have the honors on this one, brother.
Gotta go with crab legs. Gotta go with crab legs, man. You dip them crab legs in the melted butter, you know? Oh, my God. Like heart attack city coming at you. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Crab legs from Titan Drago. How about you guys in the chat? What's the most delicious thing you put in your mouth? That could get dirty. I don't know. Then again, I don't really consider that stuff to be overly delicious. That's more of a
middle-aged game guy said, "Big balls, no problem."
He's like, yeah, he can't wear boxer shorts. They're always hanging out the side, right? Yeah.
Oh my
big balls. First, Darko says, first time I ate a banana pudding. Middle-aged gamer says crab legs are fantastic. So, Primal, what's the most delicious thing you put in your mouth? I'm dying to know.
Well, I love meat. I love red meat. I love steak. I love like give me all the meat. But there was this one time I went to this hibachi. I absolutely love hibachi. And we're at this big table and dude's doing his tricks. He's got his little pee water Buddha thing. And he was flipping shrimp into everybody's mouths. And I'm a pro with catching shit in my mouth. So when he did it, for some reason, the shrimp was like the best shrimp I ever had, and I've had quite a few shrimp in my mouth. But for some reason, just the way it wasn't chewy, it was just like melt in your mouth, delicious shrimp, and it was just like I wish I could do it over and over again. Cheesecake ice cream. Cheesecake's my weakness. Sorry, I saw that. I saw that. It's my absolute
New York cheesecakes is crazy Greek dude. Logic can't say because he doesn't know. Buck Roger asked, does titties count? Well, yeah, they're always good in the mouth. No doubt about that. We are talking about food, I think, Maddie P. I think. Yeah, no doubt. Honestly, for me, it could be 100 different things. I like a lot of foods. I'm not hard to please, but honestly, I think the one thing I could probably eat every day, I'm a big sucker for desserts. I've always had a sweet tooth. So I'm going to say like really good soft serve. Like right now, the soft serve that like I just die for, and I almost get one every time I go there is the Costco soft serve. It's so good. At least I know the ones that we have here in Canada. Oh my God. And it's so cheap. You like pay like less than $2. You get this giant ass cone. And I love soft serve ice cream, man. That stuff just yeah. Oh, bacon, man. Oh, there you go. Like good bacon. I could eat packs and packs of bacon. I go to the Chinese all you can eat restaurant. Sometimes they have their early buffet on, and they'll have like the breakfast / like Oriental food there, and they have unlimited bacon. And I usually just most times just stock the plate with bacon. It's so good. Oh. Yeah, just something about that salty, savory feel of smoked bacon. I don't know. Yeah. We got middle-aged guy as an executive chef. Best thing he's ever had is kangaroo burgers. Well, wow. I'll be damned. I never had a kangaroo burger. Those things must have been hopping. So I gotta ask: the kangaroo burgers come in a bag or a pouch? HR Bomber can eat smoked pulled pork. Oh my God. Yeah, it's pudding fan is Pang 911. Pang, what's up, man? Long time no see. Glad you could be here. Easy money with the bacon. Yeah. Anybody else got some stuff? Yeah, DQ blizzards are so good, man. They're like great. Except by the time I get to my house after I'm like soup. Like all melted and shit. So great stuff, great answers, amazing chat tonight. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Do we have any final closing notes from anyone on the panel?
Nope.
I sound like I'm in a courtroom here. There's a big gap.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm so ready for Thursday. It ain't even like I'm so excited, man. I can barely contain myself.
Awesome. Well, neither can I, and I'm pretty sure the chat feels the same way. Everybody's super excited for Thursday, and I think we should be. Sounds like Microsoft's got a big show for us. Can't wait. It kind of sucks that they didn't do it at E3, but hey, they've had an extra month to kind of prep and make shit look super good, get us super worked up. So good stuff right there. Middle-aged game. The best dessert I've made is a smoked bacon apple crumble. That does sound really good. Crazy Greeks has a Kahlua brownie from Famous Dave Barbecue. Good stuff. Dreadpool Flay this just in. Newf Nukem likes 2 girls and a cup.
I
think I'll pass.
Well, I remember that whole shit, and I'm curious as fuck. So I always go in a little bit deeper into things, and it was actually really interesting how they made that original video, but it kind of sprung shit from actually doing the real shit. Like it fucking just was like nuts. But they used like Snicker bars and shit, and they would put a condom in their ass, and they would naturally like heat it up and stuff. So when they used their muscles, it looked like that they had some nutty shit coming out, but it was really just like some yummy Snickers.
Titan, I hope you're not planning to let little Titan watch these shows, are you? You're like, Dad, I want to check this podcast you're on out. And like, yeah, son, that's like another level of nukenisms right there, bro. Yeah. Yeah, you're good playing Call of Duty, son, but his podcasts, yeah, you got a couple more years left yet.
Yeah, no, that move would not bring the common back to sense. Right there.
No, be no sense at all. Oh man, good stuff, guys. So we're gonna get out of here. Lots of eye candy coming, indeed. Peanut butter pie from Salvatore says Joe Dunmore. Silent Wyvern is in the chat. What's going on, Silent? Hope I gave everybody a shout out tonight. Like I said, you guys are fantastic. I think it's been a fantastic first show. Again, glad to have Titan on as part of our new panel member, and he says he is permanent, so he's staying unless otherwise noticed, guys. So look forward to this amazing threesome each and every week, and we'll still have our guests on here too, so don't worry about that. But hopefully we're going to come back with a big show next week, because it will be our afterthought show of what happens with Microsoft, so keep that stuff fresh in your head. I just want to let everybody know, again, community game night goes down this Saturday evening, which will be 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 Mountain Time. And for you guys in the UK, I think that means it's like 1 in the morning. So it will be a late one again if you're playing from the UK. But we hope that you can make it. It's going to be Halo 5. So I'm giving it a heads up. Make sure you got your shit downloaded and updated, because we all know how long that can take sometimes. And yeah, we're going to have a big party. It's going to be awesome. And I'm sure everybody will be like super excited to play, because, you know, all the Halo news and stuff. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let's do it on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you guys all there. If you don't have me on Xbox, just add Newf Nukem. Send me a message quickly and just say hi even, and I'll know that you want in on that game night, and I'll try to add you to my friends list. Makes it a little bit easier to send out the invites, all that good stuff. But that is it for us. I'm going to let our amazing panel get out of here, and I will get out of here too. Again, thanks to the chat. You guys have been fantastic. We'll start with our newest podcast member, Titan Drago. Where can people find you, brother?
Everything at Titan Drago, everybody. Twitter mostly right now. Shut down the YouTube channel for a little while, but I will be getting back into that eventually. But sorry about my shoddy internet tonight, guys. It went out more times than Primal's been out on dates lately. So sorry, Primal. I had to get that shot in there real quick. Anyways, this was like the show before the big show on Thursday, right? Yeah. We're all kind of chomping at the bit for that, and like we're all ready for it. Until next time, always remember, don't cross the line, be cool, and always bring the common back to sense.
Boom! See, well delivered. That's why we brought Mr. Titan in here. Man knows how to put on a show. And also, speaking of the lady who knows how to put on a fantastic show, and she's giving us Mo every time before she go. Primal E, baby, again, we're so glad that you're safe and sound and back in the fold.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like your date didn't maybe not go quite as well as you wanted, but
right.
at least you got out and you tested the waters. Made sure you know that the river's not dry.
A million more to go.
A million more to go. So, well, there's lots of guys, like I said, if you're always stuck, I know there's lots of guys in the chat be willing to take a trip your way. That's for sure. You might even get Dazzy. You might book a flight, come over to see you. But tell people where they can find you, young lady.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Primal Eve. I'm also on the Xbox and PlayStation PlayStation also as Primal Eve. It was a great time. I'm actually shocked I'm still functioning partially right now. Titan, I am so excited to have you on the show now. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Your internet was fine.
Damn right.
I enjoyed that thoroughly because I laugh at everything, and at some points you sounded like Missy Elliott trying to flip it and reverse it. But no, but no, yeah. But no, it's a great time, Nuke. I always have a good time with you, and I'm looking forward to our next show.
See, I already told you. Look, see, Dazzy said he's moving in. He's packing his bag. Dazzy, got to get you back on here, brother. I promise. You know what? Maybe Daz, maybe next week, the Xbox thing. If you're still up and you're able to do a pod, let me know, brother. Because I'd like to get a nice, big, lively fucking panel. We'll do and we'll do the extreme show if we got to. We might maybe we'll do maybe we'll, instead of doing it Tuesday, so we don't take too long. We get maybe earlier. Maybe we could do something on Sunday or something like that. So
yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be some alcohol.
Yeah, I'd be down for a little Sunday podcast, and we'll wrangle up a few people to jump in. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Get it all out of the way. Talk about it earlier, so we don't have to keep people up too late on a Tuesday night, right?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. See, people liking that. You guys like that idea? You want to see Gaming After Dark do a special Xbox Encore podcast on Sunday? I know there's lots of other podcasts coming on too, but hey, where are you going to find a podcast with these sexy people, right? Come on now. It's not all about...
My avatar's getting more gray hairs by the second.
As you'll let us know. All right, brother. Well, anyway, man, just keep us posted. I know you're up and at 'em, so just let me know, man. Yeah, in the meantime, guys, you know where to find me. Always in the gutter. Snoof Nukem on Xbox, Snoof Nukem 76 on PlayStation, Snoof Nukem on YouTube. Thanks for all the super chats tonight as well, guys. Matty P, JD Gamer, everybody that dropped super chats tonight, guys. You're phenomenal. That support is crazy. I can't believe, like I said, you guys are donating money to hear us chat and stuff. That just blows my mind. But thank you. It's all appreciated. And like I said, when I can get enough of those super chats together one of these days, what we are going to do is do a fantastic giveaway for the community. I promise you that. So, yeah, we'll see you guys all. A special X-rated Sunday. That's right. I like that. The X-rated Sunday. All about Xbox, baby. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Anyway, you guys, Arnold says good night. Cletus says good night. We'll catch you guys all again next week. Same time, same place. Take care. Game on. And look forward to hearing from you all after Thursday. Good night.
Good night, everyone.